Hello and welcome to SkyTech TV, your #1 tech show where we empower you with technology. And in today's video, we are going to focus on 10 best smartphones that you can buy in 2023. The phones are high-end phones that will give you value for your money. But before we start, remember to subscribe to my channel to never miss out on any of our tech content. In our list, the very first phone is the iPhone 14 Pro. It has a RAM of 6GB and comes in 4 variants. There is that one, the base model that has the 128GB of storage, another model that has 256, another one that has 512, and the greatest one has a 1TB internal storage. On the battery, the phone comes with a 3200 mAh battery. The phone has a 4 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera, and a 12 megapixel macro camera. The selfie camera is a 12 megapixel. The display, the phone comes with a 6.1 inch AMOLED display, and it has an Apple A15 Bionic processor. On the connectivity, the phone supports 5G, supports nano SIM, and has eSIM, and also supports Wi-Fi. The phone runs on iOS 16 operating system. It comes in space black, silver, gold, and deep purple color. The phone price ranges from 160,000 Kenya shillings. The second phone in our list is the Google Pixel 7. It has a RAM of 8GB, has an internal storage of 128GB, and the battery is 4355 mAh battery. The main camera is a 50 megapixel plus a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera. The front camera is a 10.8 megapixel. It has a display of 6.4 inch screen. The processor runs on Google Tensor G2 5nm processor. On the connectivity, it supports 3G, 4G, Wi-Fi, and 5G. It comes in obsidian, lemongrass, snow, and black, and it's the operating system is Android 13. The price ranges from 79,000. The third phone is the OnePlus 11. The phone has a 12GB of RAM, and there's also another variant that has 16GB of RAM. On the internal storage, it comes in 2 variants. That one is 256 and another one with 512GB of storage. On the battery, it comes with 5000 mAh battery with 100 watts charging power. The main camera is a 50 megapixel plus a 32 megapixel plus a 48 megapixel ultra wide camera. The front camera is a 16 megapixel and it has a display of 6.7 inch AMOLED display. On the processor, the phone runs on Snapdragon 8 Generation 2 processor, and on the connectivity, it supports dual SIM, 4G, 5G, Wi-Fi, and on the colors, it comes in black and green. The phone runs on Android 13 operating system. It costs around 110,000 Kenyan shillings. The fourth phone is the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. It has a RAM of 12GB and it comes in 3 variants. There's that one that has 256GB of storage, and another one that has 512GB of storage, and another one that has 1TB of storage. On the battery, the phone has a 5000 mAh battery. The camera is a 200 megapixel plus a 12 megapixel plus a 10 megapixel plus a 10 megapixel rear camera system. On the front, the phone runs on a 12 megapixel camera. On the display, it has a 6.8-inch AMOLED display with a 120 Hz refresh rate. The processor, it runs on a Snapdragon Generation 2 processor. On the connectivity, it supports dual SIM, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and Wi-Fi. It comes in phantom black, cream, and green lavender. It runs on Android 13 operating system with UI 5.1 interface. The price range from 160,000 Kenya shilling. The fifth phone is the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4. It has a RAM of 8GB, has internal storage of 256GB, though there is another variant that has 512GB of storage. The battery is a 3700 mAh battery. The main camera is a 12 megapixel plus a 12 megapixel rear camera system. The front camera is a 10 megapixel camera. The display, the phone runs on 6.7-inch display, and the cover display is a 1.9-inch. On the processor, it runs on Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1 4 nanometer. The phone supports dual SIM, 3G, 4G, and Wi-Fi connectivity. It comes in black, green, lavender, cream white, and pink gray. The operating system is Android 12 with One UI 4.11. On top, it costs around 109,000 Kenya shillings. At number 6, we have the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4. It has a RAM of 12GB and comes in two variants. There's that one that has the 256GB of storage and another variant that has 512GB of internal storage. The battery is a 4400 mAh battery. The rear camera is a 50 megapixel plus 12 megapixel plus 10 megapixel. It also has an inner camera which is 4 megapixel and the outer camera is 10 megapixel. On the display, it has a 7.6-inch display and the cover display is 6.2-inch, and the processor is a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Generation 1. It supports dual SIM, 3G, 4G, 5G, and Wi-Fi. The phone comes in phantom black, belt, and gray screen and runs on Android 12 with One UI 4.1 operating system. The phone costs at around 180,000 Kenyan shillings. At number 7, we have the iPhone 14 Pro Max. It has a RAM of 6GB. The base model has 128GB of storage, but there are other models that has 256, 512, and 1TB of storage. The battery is a 4323 mAh battery. It has a 64 megapixel plus 12 megapixel plus 12 megapixel main camera system, and the selfie camera is a 12 megapixel camera. The display is a 6.7-inch AMOLED display and runs on Apple A16 Bionic processor. It supports 5G, nano SIM, eSIM, and Wi-Fi. It comes in space black, silver, gold, and deep purple. The operating system for the phone is iOS 16. The price for the phone is around 192,000 Kenya shillings. At number 8, we have the Asus Z Phone 9. It has a 5.9-inch AMOLED display, supports runs on Android 12, has Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen processor, has a 256 GB of storage and 16 GB of RAM. It supports dual SIM and supports 3G, 4G and 5G. It has a dual 50 megapixel plus 12 megapixel back camera and a 12 megapixel front camera. The battery is 4300 mAh battery. At number 9, we have the Samsung Galaxy S22. It has a 12 GB of RAM. It comes in two variants, the base model consisting of a 256 GB of storage and another variant that has 512 GB of storage. On the battery, it has a 5000 mAh battery. The main camera consists of a 108 plus 12 megapixel plus 10 megapixel plus 10 megapixel camera system. The front camera is a 40 megapixel selfie camera. On the display, it has a 6.8 inch 120 Hz AMOLED display. It runs on Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen processor that supports dual SIM, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G and Wi-Fi. The phone comes in black, phantom white, green and phantom black. The price for the phone is 135,000 Kenya shilling. At number 10, we have the Motorola Moto G62. It has a display of 8.5 inch display and has a main camera of 50 megapixel plus 8 megapixel plus 2 megapixel. The selfie camera is a 16 megapixel. The phone has an operating system of Android 12 and supports fingerprint sensor, which is side mounted, has a compass and a proximity sensor. The phone has a 128 GB of storage and 4 GB of RAM. On the battery, it has a 5000 mAh non-removable battery. The phone currently is pricing at 40,000 Kenya shilling. That's all for the best smartphones that you can buy. Remember to subscribe to my channel for more tech videos and for more to never miss out on any of the upcoming phone. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video.